My life's been a bit of a roller coaster. Long story short, I started practicing when I was about 15 years old. Why I thought I was practicing back then is probably different to why I think I started practicing now. Alhamdulillah, it brought me a lot of good. Some of it was, toxic ideas and beliefs as well, which had a negative impact on my life. For most part of my youth, I was on the far right extreme, kind of version of the deen, the kind of black and white Salafi, if you want to call it that. I don't like to use that term, to be honest with you, but kind of the ISIS type mentality. And then I came to a period where different things started happening in my life, and it started to give me reality checks. I just quickly, so when a couple of my marriages fell apart, it made me question a lot of things about why things went wrong in my marriage. My daughter growing up, so when my daughter was young, I had all these ideas about how she's going to grow and what she's going to do, etc., etc. As she's growing, I'm starting to realize that actually she's a human being and it's not going to work the way I romanticized it and imagined it was going to work. My marriages were quite interesting because one of my marriages was to a Reva. We got married and then we went our separate ways, but then she left Islam, and that was really kind of interesting to me. It's like I wanted to understand why she came to Islam and then she left Islam. And then the whole ISIS thing, when that fell apart, that made me question a lot of things as well.
So your views are, would you say, moderate compared to
again, look, I don't like using moderate, extreme, this, that, because to
terms,
everyone, their views are reasonable and their views are moderate according to them. Even the most extreme person, you can go to the far right or the far left, they're going to think they're being balanced, right? But my last relationship, the polygamous one, was a 2-year relationship, and that ended badly for me. And when that ended, I went into a bit of a mental health breakdown. So this is 2022. But up until then, things had been changing for me slowly in terms of questioning things and trying to figure things out and make sense of things. Once that happened, that put me in a bit of a mental health crisis. And for me, internally, it was an existential crisis. It's like I don't know who I was or what was going on. And I had to look at my life, introspect. I had to look at everything and try to figure it all out. And you know what? It's the most difficult. We don't tend to do it because it's very difficult to do. It's like imagine getting a gun, putting it to your head and shooting yourself. That's a hard thing to do. No one's going to do that. Well, when you challenge or when you think about your identity and who you are, you're doing the same thing, but on a psychological level. It's like you're putting a gun to your psychological self, and it's really hard. But that was a period that forced me to question everything, how I understand the deen, how I understand myself, how I understand people, women, men, everything. So a lot of my views changed.